All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. All praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai be the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the whole elect, preaching His word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah from Great Millstone, Arizona, well with another video to edify. And here we go again, right? It's going back about what is it, about 4 years ago they started talking about net neutrality, and it's just coming back up. And as time goes on and prophecies progress, right, one of the major things to let you know that this shit is through is the famine of the word, right? Because as soon as the famine of the word kicks in, that's it. The scriptures tell you that where there's no vision, the people perish. So when the Lord allows these devils to cut off the vision and to cut off the sound of the prophet, right, then expect all hell to break loose. And this is what we've been waiting for, right? For brothers that have been sincere and doing this work and uprightness and breaking down the scriptures correctly. This is the time, right, where you get to, right, experience the hand of the Lord on you, and where you're going to be shown that you did it right, that you spoke the Lord's words correctly, that you prophesied in an upright fashion, and that the things that you said were on the up and up. And this is the time, right? So I'm gonna play another, and Lord willing, this to be edifying.
All right. Well, the federal government is trying to. Sorry. Let me take that again.
Take two.
The federal government is trying an old trick to regulate the internet called net neutrality. Remember this? It's
bring it back.
2015.
Bring it back.
They say it's because they want free speech and fairness on the internet. That's a good joke, isn't it? Since when does the federal government want free speech and fairness on the internet? They don't want that, really. It's a power grab using an old trick. It's an old dog and an old trick. So we're not going to fall for it. Let's talk about it. Now, I remember, covering this a lot when I was a tech reporter with CNET, and I was like, oh, net neutrality, it's kind of boring. But it's not now, because it's back in a way that's just so transparent of a power grab. And we have seen that without net neutrality, the terrible warnings that, sort of leftist Democrats had warned about did not come to fruition. So quickly, net neutrality is the notion that the FCC can create laws that would prevent internet service providers or ISPs from prioritizing, slowing down, or blocking content online. Now, keep that word blocking in mind. This was an Obama-era law, and it was struck down during the Trump administration. California, incidentally, tried to put it back just in California, and that also was struck down in the courts. Net neutrality is kind of a double negative concept. It's preventing ISPs from changing the speed that they deliver different data to you.
You see? So I remember when this stuff was kicking off and they were talking about it, right? They were doing test runs of it because it was brothers' videos and channels, man. It was hard to pull up videos. It was hard to get to the videos. It was even harder for you to even look up a camp name, right? You put GMS something, you had to scroll down and keep scrolling before you actually came to a video. So we're coming to the time where the Lord is about to cut off the message.
Transgender. It's made very, very cool through the media. Through TikTok, through Reddit, through Tumblr, through...
Told them to go to hell in Montana.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is the time now where these things are coming to pass, and it's about to get hot and heavy, right? I'm going to play a little bit of this one, and then we'll get into these precepts.
Canada is now on the track to censor and regulate streaming services and social media platforms. They've got more regulation coming. Podcasters are going to have to register now with the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission. That's like our FCC. You don't want a regulated internet podcast council. The Online Streaming Act, formerly Bill C-11, goes into effect November 28, meaning any online streaming service that operates in Canada and generates revenue of more than $10 million in any given year will have to register with CRTC.
You see? So it's not only in the States, but it's also in Canada. And there's been calls to say here and jail anybody that speaks against the established order, right? This is the time we're in. So them trying to cut off the sacrifice is all happening again, because before it was the sacrifice with, right, the lambs, the goats. Now they're cutting off the sacrifice of the lips. So this is the plan. And Esau has always done this shit. The heathen have always tried to cut off the sacrifice right? And at a certain point, the Lord responds. Where we're at the time now, where the Lord's going to respond to everything. Esau ain't getting away with nothing, and it's beautiful that these things are actually finally fucking starting to happen, man. This is Isaiah 32, and I'll start at 6. It says, I'll start at 5. It says, the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, to utter error against Yahweh Bashim al-Shai, to make empty the soul of the hungry. And what the scriptures tell you, the Lord is going to give you teachers that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Right? And brothers hunger for this truth, man. Brothers, especially these young men that come in, they graft onto this word. It's literally, they build it to be part of their lifestyle. Right? And they want to cut off the sacrifice. But this is all going into prophecy. It says, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. And this is what's happening. This is nothing more than another device of Esau to cut off the sacrifice so he can just push his shit all the way. Right? Because really the main opposition to this devil's kingdom, to his way of being, right? The main ones that he's worried about taking off the airways are the Israelites, because we bring out the word of the Lord, the judgment of the Lord against them. Remember Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Let me get it. Wisdom of Solomon 2:1, it says, for the ungodly said reason within himself. So that's the context. I'm going to jump down. It says, verse go to 10. It says, let us oppress the poor and righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. And this is what they're losing. They're using law. They're using policy, right, to justify cutting off the word. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. And that's what they look at. It's like, we ain't got an army. We don't have a physical way to actually fight this devil. We got to just wait on the Lord. Remember, the scriptures tell you, oh thou worm Jacob, we got to wait for the Lord to actually give us the power to make us those new sharp threshing instruments. So he looks at us like we're insignificant. All right, I'm going to jump down some more. It says, verse 13, it says, he professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, talking about the righteous. He calleth himself the child of Yahweh, and that's what we do. We call ourselves the children of the Lord, the sons of God, right? He was made to reprove our thoughts, and this is what he knows. He knows that we were made to reprove his thoughts. So every time we come in these scriptures, every time we bring out prophecies, every time we break down a breakdown and show who he is in the scriptures, it reproves his entire plan. It reproves his thought process of how he thinks he's God in the earth. All right, this devil ain't shit but what the Lord made him. Right, and the Lord's getting ready to break him. Right, this is Amos 8:11. It says, behold, the days come, say Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. They shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. And this is what the times that we're coming to is about to be. Right? The Lord's going to cause a famine of hearing the words of the Lord in the land. Right? Net neutrality, these regulations, them trying to deplatform podcasts and everything, that's just a step forward to come at the prophets. Because just like Elder Apostle Tahar always says, man, the internet did the heavy lifting. Right? Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramab, they all say the internet did the heavy lifting. Right? We went out there and preached, but man, when we put it on the YouTube, this thing blew up. Right? When the elders and apostles put this on the YouTube, I didn't get the truth by going out on the highways and byways and finding brothers. I got the truth by what? Looking at YouTube. And one day the Lord put it in my spirit and opened up my understanding for me to actually receive what was being said. And I'm here now. And the water Yabashim Yashai for that, man. And I'm here now. So what? When this thing gets shut off and the hell starts to kick in, and what we said was starting to happen with foreign troops all type of sicknesses, right? They're even talking about this Berg iris, right? I mean, you got to speak in code because they'll take your shit down. But that's that's the next pandemic, right? That's the next pandemic. So shit is kicking up. Shit is kicking up, and things are moving on, and we're getting ready to have the truth taken off the highways and byways. And when that happens, it's it. It's it. This is why the Lord said what? This Ecclesiastes 12. 1, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. You gotta get this and understand it now. You shouldn't be putting it off. The scriptures tell you putting that off day to day. We got a finite amount of time to get everything that we can get to be stable in these times, because the scriptures tell you what? Knowledge and wisdom. Let me get that. This is where is it at, man? I always forget where the scripture's at. Yeah, Isaiah 33:6, it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So wisdom and knowledge, meaning in full understanding of these scriptures, the full understanding of judgment, right? Those things, and knowing what the word of the Lord is, what's next according to prophecy, what you have to wait on, how to move in situations. These things are going to keep the righteous, right, the ones that believe, stable in what? The evil times. It's going to be your strength of salvation, man, because while everybody else is freaking out, losing faith, they're going to throw away all those false beliefs that they had, and they're going to crumble. But for you to believe this thing in that day, right, that's going to be your strength of your salvation. Right? The fear of the Lord in those days is going to be your treasure, because you're going to know right from wrong. And you're going to lean on that. Right? And just like it says in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, it says, because I kept the word of my patience, I'll keep you from the hour of temptation. Right? These people that haven't kept the word of the Lord's patience, so you don't have anything to keep you in that day, to maintain you. It's Hosea 5 and 15, it says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense. And that's what we've been doing. All right, brothers that have woken up, come into this thing, call themselves Israelites all over again. Right? Put upon the name of Israel on them, according to prophecy, because the scriptures tell you one shall surname himself Jacob, right? And call himself Israel, right? These things happen. Brothers are doing it. That's prophecy coming to pass right then and there. So brothers are doing it. Brothers are returning, acknowledging their offenses, right? And seeking the Lord's face, right? And seek my face. In their affliction, they shall seek me early, right? But this is for the righteous. This is a good thing for the righteous, to seek them in their affliction, understand that they're afflicted. But then you have the flip side of this. The flip side is Proverbs 1. Proverbs 1 and started 24. It says, because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. And how did the Lord stretch out his hand? By sending men out there to give you the word. The Lord wasn't going to come talk to nobody face to face, so none of us fucking deserved it. You right in your sins, doing all your bullshit, doing everything that the Lord hated. It says, but ye have set at not all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. Right? And Jake didn't want to take heed. There's a lot of people out there that didn't want to take heed. They rather party and bullshit. You had a lockdown for 3 years. You would figure the fear that came off of that, people would repent and change their ways. But what? As soon as the lockdowns ended, niggas went outside, right? And pronouns just started proliferating everywhere. It says, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh, right? When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. And that's what's going to happen. For the ones that didn't take heed, for the ones that went on in their wickedness, that didn't want to seek the word of the Lord, that didn't want to try to graft on into the understanding, right? Before the time of the famine of the word came, this is where you're going to be. Right? Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. And you're seeking them early, as in early in the affliction. early in the tribulation, early in Jacob's trouble. This is that flip side. There's men that are going to seek the Lord in the time of their affliction before all hell breaks loose. And there's those ones that are going to wait till hell breaks loose to actually try to fucking shape up. And that's too late. You got to come to the Lord now. It's only a little bit of time for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. They would none of my counsel and despise all my reproofs. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Right? This is the time we're coming to. Because the famine of the word is coming, and it's very important to get it now. Get it while it's hot. Get it off the presses. Right? Back in the day when there was no internet, and you wanted to know what was going on, they said fresh off the presses. Why they say fresh off the presses? Because the things that were happening, right? If you didn't get it quick in that morning, times would change. So you try to get all that news quick in the morning, hot off the presses. Well, we're in a time now where you're in a position to get this truth hot off the presses. Don't try to come into this thing late thinking that it's going to be sweet. We only got a little bit of time, man. This is, right? Just like in Ezra, it tells you that there are many things that are more past than is to come, right? So there's more prophecies that are past than are to come, meaning that the time is short. That's why the Lord said what? The time is short. The night is far spent, right? And the day is at hand. Understand that. 2 Ezra 5 and 8, it says, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts of the shall change their places, places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, these little deformed kids, these early premature births, all that shit. It says, and salt water shall be found in sweet. And you know what? All these, the menstruous women bringing forth children, monsters, going into those deformed children. You got, the influx of children being born with autism right now. Wild. It's when you talk about the amount that's coming out now, man. It used to be like one in 80 or 2 in 80. Now it's fucking 1 in 8 kids. Right? 1 in 8 kids has autism now. We're in those times. It says, and salt water shall be found in sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide himself. Man, the understanding, these scriptures, the breakdowns, the understanding, the getting to the elders and apostles, the prophets, the brothers out there on the highways and byways. The Lord's going to hide brothers. The Lord's going to put us to the side and put us away from the masses. It says, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet be not found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency multiply upon the earth. Right? So when this truth is pulled off the highways and byways, when you're not able to go on YouTube, Rumble, all these other sites where brothers post, you're not going to be able to fucking just easily get to a video of a prophet breaking down the scriptures right then and there. That's when unrighteousness and incontinency multiplies. That's when all type of wickedness is just going to increase. Right? And peep this, it says, one land shall also ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous going through thee? And then shall say no. Right? They're going to be looking for the brothers. They're going to look for the prophets. Look for the elders. Right? The same ones that call brothers bums, the prophets, the elders and apostles bums. Right? Those those same people, right? Your polites, all that shit. They're going to be looking for brothers in that day, and we ain't going to be around, man. Lord will I be one of those men where the Lord's dealing with, and we'll see, right? Lord will. Hey, you're going to be the most highest sought out man, right? Known in these current days, man. Fuck a Drake. Ain't a Lil Wayne. Nobody care about him. No, no Drakes, no Lil Waynes, no Futures, no Cardi B's. You going to be the new stars, right? It says, at the same time shall men hope, but nothing attain. People are going to try to pick up the scriptures, act like they're going to get it on their own. Right? But the scriptures tell you what? That how shall they teach unless somebody's taught them. Right? But they didn't want to take the rebuke of the teachers. They wanted to go out, party and bullshit, do whatever they wanted. So this time, what? They're going to hope, but nothing attain. They shall labor, but their way shall not prosper. They're going to sit here and hope that they can get it on their own, but it's not going to do anything. They're going to read the words, and they're going to feel like right in their spirit I don't get it. I don't understand. Right? The word of the Lord is going to be to them just like on Charlie Brown's Teacher, womp womp or womp womp. That's how they're not going to be able to stand it. So it's important to get this thing now. Right? The time is short, the night is far spent, and the day is at hand. Shalom.